Well, I'm cheating a little bit. It is a glorious day in Southern California. It had to have been in the low 70s, which means that it's barefoot weather for Mark, inside the house at least. I don't know about the barefoot Contessa if she really cooks barefoot, but I do. It's my house, no shoe policy. I don't need socks. So that's the rule here at the Allen TV studio kitchen, I hope. We've got a great show today. We're going to be talking with an OMD, that's a Oriental medical doctor, and an acupuncturist. So let's get right to the point. Let's start to the show right now. Welcome to Mark Allen Cooks. I am Mark Allen, and we're going to do a duck pizza. It's actually a green pizza, but when Stephen suggested this recipe to me, I renamed it duck pizza. So maybe it's a duck green pizza. Let's bring uh, Stephen and Jenny in, and we'll introduce them. I'm going to mispronounce your name as I have several times, Stephen. So I'm going to ask you to give me the pronunciation and hope I can get it.
Morrissey.
Morrissey. That's easy. What am I thinking? Jenny, welcome to our show. And welcome to you. If you're watching, we really would appreciate your comments. If you have questions about Stephen or Jenny, let us know. And I'm going to tell you how I found them very quickly. For the last couple of years, I've been suffering, well, I've been suffering for more than that, for a number of years from allergies. And during allergy season, which is starting now, I used to take an over the counter product, um, but it over dried me out, and I found out it potentially can raise your blood pressure. So the oven goes on. And so I discovered a product called Aller DX. Now I call it Allerdex, but it's Aller DX. And in 20 minutes, it even says works in minutes. It's so much faster than the over the counter big pharma stuff. And I can breathe and I'm not gooey and you know how. So we go to Colorado and we welcome in Stephen Morrissey and Jenny Morrissey. Hi, guys. How are you today?
Hey, Mark. Nice to see you as always.
Yeah, it's
Looking
been,
good.
yeah, good. Well, we're going to make the pizza. While the pizza is baking, we're going to talk about acupuncture. We'll talk about what an Oriental medical doctor is. And this is an opportunity. Stephen doesn't even know this, nor does Jenny. If you have a medical question, they're, they can give you general ideas, okay? And we'll, of
Sure.
course, talk about their products. And Jenny kind of laughed there, so that's good. Um, I'm going to show you what I have on my tray right now. Earlier today, I made this. This is a smoked duck breast. It's from Culver Farms and in Indiana. I bought it at Wild Fork, which is I guess, a chain of frozen food. Everything in there is frozen. And I wasn't sure, right? I couldn't find this any other place. Our major markets in the area didn't cover it. This is smoked, but I did pan saute it a little bit today. It's mm, really good. So that's where we get the name the duck pizza. There's also pesto. Pesto is probably the easiest sauce to make. It's garlic, it's olive oil, it's basil, and pine nuts. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go back to the stove. I'm going to start sauteing a little bit of spinach in olive oil and duck fat. Okay, you can actually buy duck fat. Who knew? Let's bring Stephen and Jenny in. Whose recipe is this, or did you guys do this together?
It's
Aha,
mine.
it's yours.
But,
Okay. Well, you get to boss me around. It's like, kind of having a husband that you can yell at. So if I screw anything
Ooh.
up, you just let me know. Okay. Um, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to turn the stove on. And I have some organic spinach, baby spinach. I'm just taking it right out of the bag. There's some duck fat in there already, but I'm just going to add a touch of olive oil, and that's from Whole Foods. I'm going to let that heat up, um, and we're going to put the spinach in and saute it a little bit. Right? Isn't that correct,
yep.
Jenny? All
hmm
right.
That's
I think
absolutely right.
that'll work.
Yeah, I developed the recipe looking for a way to put more vegetables into pizza. So it, when we had parties for our kids, we could still do a pizza party, but it would be a little on the healthier side.
Aha, that makes sense.
Now, I will mention that spinach will cook down an awful lot, so it just depends on how much you like on your pizza. I usually use more than that, but you can also have it light on the spinach, so it's your
Got
choice.
it. And we want to keep it so that it's not um, too wet. I don't know if we need to add some.
You know, yeah, I would put a little more spinach in personally, and the wet part is if you're using frozen spinach, which you can also do.
Got it.
It's just when you heat up the frozen spinach, it still has quite a bit of water content in it. You need to boil some off. But with fresh, you shouldn't have to worry about it at all.
So at your home, you're both working in the business. I actually met Jenny before I met Stephen because I called in with a question about Allard DX, and oh, it's coating. I have to tell you, it is coating so well with the duck fat. Oh, does that smell good?
Looks wonderful.
Now, I gotta ask, Stephen, is duck fat healthy or maybe not the?
I don't think it's unhealthy. Certainly, if the duck is healthy that you got it from, and it's actually a lot of calories, but honestly, it's also a lot of energy. And
Got it.
so, if you tolerate duck and duck fat, then it's not a bad thing for you.
Well, I
You should
love it.
be
I
In
forgot to,
moderation.
in
and I
moderation.
forgot to toast you guys before. So, and you're toasting with tea. I'm
This
toasting
is
with.
juice tea. Yeah.
Mm, okay, this is, it's ready.
Wow, that's fast.
So then I'm going to let it
Great.
cool down a little bit, and let's make the pesto. So into the Cuisinart,
So, Mark, I don't know if you
yeah,
know this, but in Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, they classify all foods as to temperature and the type of the organ systems that they nourish in particular. And so, duck is well, spinach actually is nourishes the spleen and the kidneys and the lungs, and so it's a little bit astringent, but so it kind of brings things together since it has that astringent effect. And duck is also nourishing for the spleen and the lungs, not so much the kidneys, but a little bit.
and
And
what
the
about the
temperature.
right?
Go ahead.
What about garlic itself?
Well, garlic is used, if you look at a Materia Medica, which is the textbook that lists all the medical characteristics of different herbs in Chinese medicine, the Materia Medica it has garlic in it. It doesn't have spinach and duck, but it does have garlic, and because it's used medicinally, of course. And so it's definitely warming, and sort of anti. There's a whole category called anthelmintic herbs.
Got it. All right,
And so
we're gonna let's see if we can get this to work. Ah, there it goes. We're gonna pulse that. I'm gonna take a spoon and stir it around a little bit. Again, if you have thoughts, if you're watching, we'd love to hear from you. And if you watch this on a repeat, you can also let us know where you are and what you think of the show. Jenny, I'm going to bring
Yeah.
a little bit of this over to you so you can see it.
You're going to make me
Okay?
want to taste it, darn
Yes,
it.
open wide. So, yes, there we go. So it's a little rough. Should it be smoother than that?
So I think that's your choice. I think it'll work no matter what you do with it.
Smells
I
great.
I have made it myself, and I've also just bought it at the store.
pesto.
Got
Yeah,
it.
for the pesto. So
Well,
um,
let's see if we can smooth it out a little bit. And to do that, we'll also add just a touch more olive oil.
yeah, if you consider that this is a sauce to go on the pizza, it's fine to have a little more olive oil and have a little more
Right.
sauce. So I imagine it would be delicious no matter what you did.
Whoa. Oh, yeah. Now it's nice and smooth. Okay. So,
There, there are a number of people who don't tolerate tomatoes very well, and so for people who want to eat pizza that doesn't have tomato sauce on it, pesto is a great option, obviously.
now
And
I
so,
love tomatoes and I love tomato sauce. I really do. But uh, they're part of the, let's see, tomatoes, eggplant. What's the
nightshades.
Nightshades.
nightshades? And some people just don't like it. Their bodies just don't like it. I can't tell because I like it so much. Now I'm going to chop some olives up. These are Kamadi olives. They're supposed to be um, they're supposed to be pit free. You have to watch because these are all pitted, as you know, by machine,
Right.
right?
Yes. Double check
So
them.
this one, mm, it's delicious, but it has a pit,
Right.
which means it's for the pits. All right.
Hmm.
So one of the great things about this recipe, it is so flexible. Like you said, you were going to do a cauliflower crust, so that would
Right.
be gluten free, I'm assuming. And if you don't want to have dairy on your pizza, you can use some alternative substitute. There's many kinds of olives; they all would taste great. I always made it with just the spinach and not any form of meat, so you can make it vegetarian very easily. And I mean, I think that's
I was thinking that you could
impressive.
use tofu,
You could use tofu. Yep.
right? All right. We're going to chop this a little bit more. Okay, hold on, folks. All right, I'm going to bring the pizza crust over. Now, this is a frozen pizza crust, and I need to explain something. We've tried this numerous times, and if if I just use the frozen, it and put stuff on it, it gets soggy. So what I always do is I cook it for 10 minutes first. I'd rather be at your house with your sourdough pizza, which is from scratch. So
That takes a lot of extra planning.
yes, it does. So I'm going to take the spinach. And Carol, can you please give me a couple of paper towels?
I would put the pesto on first
Oh, do you? Oh, okay.
because it's like the sauce.
Got it.
Good catch.
Now, Carol and my kids know I am the worst spreader in the world. I really am. But this is still an easy recipe to do. How am I doing,
How,
Jenny?
it looks perfect. In terms of spreading, I always make sure to get close to the crust, but not all the way to the edge, obviously. But it looks like you're doing that.
Yeah. Ugh. Now, Stephen, do you cook at all?
Oh yeah, I do.
You
He's
do.
he's an
Okay.
excellent cook.
Now, Stephen's been away a little bit. Um, Stephen is a avid skier. Do you do downhill or cross country?
Mostly downhill. Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
I've done a few cross country in the past, but now I like to ride this chairlift.
got it. Well, I would like the chairlift ride. That would be good. And the other part I think I would like is, well, in golf, it would be called the 19th hole,
Yeah.
right? Sitting in the hot tub and having a drink. So I'm going to
Yeah.
bring in the spinach now.
Yes.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain it just a little bit.
Good idea.
It's got a lot of oil.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So when you asked, Mark, when you asked about the oil, is it healthy? It's healthy in the right proportion, right? So too much would be just overwhelming, and but if it flavors and adds a little lubrication to it, it's not a problem.
got it.
And I think that you could probably double that amount of spinach.
Yeah, I think I blew it.
Oh,
So,
it's just a matter of taste. So,
well, I like a spinach salad, um, and I don't think do we have no. We're gonna. I think we'll go with that. What if I put some raw spinach on there? Do you think that would be okay or not?
um,
Okay, that wasn't a good idea of Mark's.
I mean, it could be okay, but often the leaves will burn while the rest of the pizza is cooking because they're
Got
so
it.
thin and vulnerable. So that's my
Got it.
concern.
So I have the pesto. I have the um, spinach.
Spinach.
What's next, boss?
I would probably put in the
Loves the duck.
olives. Yeah. And the duck should probably go under the cheese too.
I
Yeah.
would.
So I think it's olives and duck both.
Okay. Now I'm a big olive person. I've never met an olive I personally have not liked.
Olives are great, and they give it a little punch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh, this is so good.
as does the duck.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do the duck next. We're not going to put
Yep.
all of it on there.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. I'm sure it won't go to waste.
Oh no. And I think that'll make a nice little sandwich
Oh yeah.
actually, right?
Yeah.
Yes. You could do a spinach and duck salad. All right. I have some garlic cloves here.
Yep. I would go with the cheese next. The garlic, if you put it on top of the cheese, it browns in just a lovely way.
Got it. So I've got two different kinds of cheese. Um,
Okay.
I've got Parmesan. This is Parmesan Reggiano from Italy. This is again a Trader Joe's product. And what do you think? More? I mean,
If you have a second cheese, that's probably plenty.
okay, I have a second cheese, and I found mozzarella um, slices that I
Oh,
thought
okay.
would work really well.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I was
That
smart.
works really well.
Yeah. All right.
And then Do you have a garlic press, or were you going to chop the garlic?
No, I've got a garlic press.
Okay, that's easier, and it makes it nice and small. In the 15 minutes, they'll brown nicely on top of the cheese.
Okay. And this is a garlic press that's really a family heirloom. My mother-in-law gave this to me years ago.
Mm.
And I'll
Oh man,
spread
that's
that
looking
out.
good.
I'm sorry?
Oh, it's just looking really good.
Yeah, it really is.
Duck and olive green pizza. Nice.
What was that, Carol? I'm sorry. Oh, it's the problem with the garlic press is you have to clean it, but Carol does that. Okay. So, what I'm going to do,
You could probably spread that.
take this. Ooh,
Now, you sure you don't want to spread that garlic out a little bit more?
yeah, I'm doing that over here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll bring it back so you can see. And Carol, if you could, yeah, a little bright. Whoa! Slip and slide. I know that's going to be during the summer. Kids will like that, but let's not do that now. Okay, and we're going to stick this in the oven. Okay, good.
Jenny?
Into the oven, and we'll let this go for about 10 minutes. We'll give it a check.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that's just what I was thinking, especially with the convection.
Yes, and it is a convection oven. So let's
Oh,
talk about health. Um, and Stephen and I have talked about this on Late Night Health, our sister podcast. Um, are Americans healthy, Stephen?
it depends on which Americans you're talking about. There are
Well,
plenty of healthy people, that take a lot of care with their health in the U.S. Uh, Unfortunately, you know, the problem with food is that you have to eat it 3 times a day. So you're either eating out or you're making a lot of food and spending
right.
a lot of time with making food. And so uh, so people end up, eating a lot of meals that are out at fast food restaurants and uh, things that are quick because it really does take up a lot of your day. And I think one of the keys is really to find ways to make food quickly that's healthy for you.
And
You
that's
know,
what
some
we do here. That's what we do here. Our idea
Yeah.
is to get people who do a lot of fast food to get into their kitchen, push away those that stack of pizza boxes that are empty because they stink after a while anyway. Push them away and do. I mean, this was such an easy thing to do. I mean,
yeah,
it really is. And if you don't like meat, you don't have to do meat. You can do tofu.
right,
We could have left the duck off. Duck is one of
yeah.
my favorite meats. And when you mentioned it, Stephen, a few weeks ago, I said, that's it. That's the one we want to do.
Well, I took Jenny's recipe, which she's made for many years. Our kids would go out and they would have pizza at other kids' houses, and so they'd come home and want to have pizza. So Jenny came up with this healthier version of pizza with more vegetables, and she would make it with a 3/4 of an inch layer of cooked spinach on it. So there's lots of greens on there. But so that was and then all of a sudden our kids' friends they would all start wanting to come over and that's Jenny's
Oops,
phone.
it's all right.
But they'd want to come over and have green pizza because it was so good. So uh, she normally didn't put. So we were having green pizza one night recently, and I thought, well, let's have duck and olive green pizza. And so that was the beginning of that.
Got it. So
in it.
let's, while we're baking, we have a couple
Yeah.
minutes to just chat, and that's um, what what is an OMD? There are not a lot of them, okay, anymore. A lot of people
No, there.
become NDs, naturopathic doctors.
Yeah. Well, when I went to grad school to study Oriental medicine and acupuncture and all that goes with it, herbs and so forth, that was 1984 that I graduated from the master's program, and then you do an extra year to get the OMD, and that's now it's called a let's see,
DOM.
DOM. Yeah. So they have DOM degrees now. But you go in an acupuncture school, and that's where those degrees are
Is that
originate
how
from.
you guys met in acupuncture school?
Well, we I was practicing. I went to acupuncture school in
Excuse me
Los
for one
Angeles.
second. Servetta's watching us, and she says it sounds ducky. There is no good pizza in Pittsburgh where she is. I'm sorry about
Ah,
that. You know,
Well, this will be something quick you can do at home.
yeah, come on, Servette, you could make this. Thank you very much. Um, uh,
so
Go ahead.
yeah, I moved to Seattle to start practicing in 1985, and I I started teaching at Bastyr, which is a college for naturopathic medicine, and that's how it started at least. And now it's a university that has multiple types of degrees from nutrition and Oriental medicine, as well as their original goal, which was the naturopathic medical degrees. And in 1988 or so, they started a full time Oriental medicine program there, and Jenny was one of the people who founded that program, along with Peggy Smith, a naturopath and an acupuncturist. And they hired me as the first chair of the department. And so
Don't you
uh,
miss teaching?
sure, yeah, I loved
Okay,
teaching. It was great.
got it.
Um,
Servette is loving you guys. So
oh,
Oh,
really, really nice. Yeah, make this. I think I can't wait. I really cannot wait. Um, I Today in um, with allopathic doctors, a lot of allopathic doctors are starting to turn to functional medicine. And to me, you
right.
guys are doing functional medicine
That's
in
right.
your supplements, right? Um,
Yeah,
uh,
we are absolutely.
and functional medicine is different than allopathic or traditional medicine. Can you explain that, either one of you?
I'm trying
you
Who
to.
gets that one?
I started studying a form of functional medicine early on. In fact, it's what got me interested in going to acupuncture school. Uh, Functional medicine in this country has really been facilitated by Jeff Bland, Dr. Bland, who's up in Washington State, and he was also teaching at Bastyr University when I and Jenny were both there. But before that, there was also a form of functional medicine being practiced in Germany, and I really love what they figured out how to do in Germany because if you want some details on that, it's really there was a homeopath back in the 50s that was trying to figure out which remedies to give his patients. And so he started a diagnostic process where he would create a circuit through the body and through an ohm meter, which measures resistance, or the reciprocal, which is conductivity. And so he would measure conductivity at acupuncture points on the body, basically in the hands and the feet. It's gotten kind of fuzzy there. Um, and so that was a way to get diagnostic information from the acupuncture channels. So we would find that there was a disorder in conductivity in the lung channel. There was an acupuncture channel associated with each of the organ systems. So you could go to each of the organ system channels and get diagnostic information just by looking at the conductivity disorders that manifest there.
Let's
And so,
let's. I want to. Carol, can you bring up the picture? And I didn't show it to you, um, of both Allard DX, and there's a digestive product too. We'll bring that up. Yeah, good. Thank you very much. Um, how
so,
does
so
Allard?
basically, go
How
ahead.
does it work?
Well, Jenny and I had a practice across the hall from a very large environmental medicine center in Seattle, and and we saw so many people with serious sensitivities, let's call it, because a lot of sensitivities are not just allergies. Allergy is a type of immune response. There are neurological responses. There are other types of responses that people can get that are sensitivity related. And so after seeing many patients with this type of condition, we found that there were two organ systems out of balance in a particular way that tended to cause people to be hypersensitive to their environment. And so we, over time, developed this formula. Really, it was a 10-year process of developing the formulation because a lot of people who have sensitivities will react to medicinal herbs as much as they'll react to foods and things in the air and so forth. So we had to find ways to treat it that were well tolerated, that people that were sensitive would not react negatively to.
All right,
So
let's take a real acupuncture pointed view, okay, at this. My understanding is that in general, allopathic health care practitioners, medical doctors, treat symptoms rather than find the root cause. Does Allerdex and other products from Plantiva, and Carol, there's a logo up there that you could bring up underneath. Tom Martin is looking forward to the replay. He joined us a bit late, I guess. Tom, this is I can't. I opened the oven a minute ago. I'm going to let you guys go because I want to eat the damn thing. But is there you're treating the root cause, or at least trying to find the root cause,
yeah,
rather than just treating the nose. I mean,
well, most diagnoses tell you what you have, but they don't tell you why you have it. So most treatments, therefore, treat what you have, but they don't address why you have it. And so, why you have that hypersensitivity, why your immune system starts developing defenses against things that are not really threatening, like grasses and flowers. That's the why part of the question. And that's where we saw that underlying a lot of that sensitivity was a weakness in the kidneys and the adrenals and an overactive condition in the liver. And so we saw this kind of discrepancy that sort of you had this excess and this deficiency, and you had to bring things back into a state of balance. And that's
I want to talk about the digestive, but there's one other thing that we need to talk about. Actually, Carol is telling me to take the pizza out, or I'm going to check it. Let's check it together. Come on over. Oh my gosh, Carol, it's done.
Oh, that's good.
It's done. So I'm going to turn it off. Carol's going to hand me a pair of gloves. The aroma is amazing. Now I'm going to show this to you real quick. Carol, can you shut that for me? Oh, whoa! I burned it myself. Look at this.
Oh,
Folks.
that looks excellent.
oh nice.
So
Wow.
I'm going to stick this back here for a little bit. When we
It
first
is good
started,
to let it cool.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I just said it is good to let it cool a little bit.
Yes, and there's two reasons for that because I will be tasting it. And what happened when we first started, I just ate. And then I had to do the hot mouth dance. You know, anyway, so we don't. I'm going to try not to do that. Um, One of the things that's of interest to me that you told me about, Stephen, is that you now have Aller DX for your horses, or it will be coming soon. How many pills
Right.
does a horse take?
Well, actually, we sprinkle it as powder onto their feed
And
because horses eat the same thing all the time. So they start getting intolerant of the food that they're given on a daily basis. They're eating the same things they ate yesterday and the day before and the day before, you know. So at some
hey,
point, they
you.
reach a point of intolerance and they can't tolerate their feed anymore. So we sprinkle on the combination of digestive and AllerDX for horses. We put that onto their feed and it helps them tolerate their food.
Works for people too to take the digestive with the AllerDX for food sensitivities.
Yeah.
That's a real good one. This is an interesting one. Brian McGowan says wonderful information. He spent 27 years with a hypersensitive wife, uh, coming to similar conclusions. And I wish he had known you, uh, the both of you. Thank you, Brian, for watching. I wish you could
Yeah.
eat with us, but you can't, which means that there's more for me. If I had to eat the same thing every day, I don't even know what. It
Right.
could be lobster every day.
Yeah.
I'd get
Yeah.
tired of it. Don't
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
horses get tired
Your
of
body
hay
will
and
start
feed?
rejecting it. It's almost like a gag reflex that you start developing, but it's so subtle that you don't really gag, but your body is having that same type of reaction to food that you eat too much of. So really, you have to vary your diet. That's the trick. And if you have duck pizza one day, don't have it the next day. Maybe wait an extra day before you have the leftovers, so you're not eating it 2 or 3 days in a row.
Thank you, doctor. I don't know if I could hold out. I mean, this smells amazing. It's really hot, so I can't. I'm going to bring it
Yeah.
over here in a minute, but it's still very hot. Carol, how are we going to cut it? We forgot about that part. Should I use the pizza cutter? Is it here? La, da, da. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'll get that ready, the pizza cutter. Um, this smells, I cannot tell you how. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't I move it and let you cut it? No, you don't want to cut it. Come on, you cut it. You're a better cutter upper than I am. Well, I can just turn it over. All right. And I'll put the pizza on here. Okay. Guys, I hope I don't spill this. Um, oh, I know what I can do. Here. I'm going to slide this off. Let's see.
Yeah, it cooked pretty fast. Really,
Mm-hmm.
the
Convection, I think.
I think the cauliflower
I should
crust.
have. There. Okay, got it. And um, I'm going to adjust something here if I can. I'm going to bring this over here. And let's see if we can. Yeah. Isn't that better? Okay. And it's not that hot. You're right, Carol. So, and then uh, your digestive product, how does that differ from, I don't know, Pepto Bismol?
Right. So, yes, well, Pepto Bismol and Tums and those kinds of things basically uh, calm. They're calcium based products that are trying to calm things down. A lot of the digestive problems that people have is because their stomach is weak and their pancreas and their small intestine are unbalanced. So what we're trying to do with digestive is strengthen digestive organs so they function normally. And, probiotics are very popular these days, and the microbiome is discussed a lot in digestive conversations now. And so, what we're trying to do is normalize the digestive tract by strengthening the function of the digestive organs. So, it's best to take a capsule or two before you eat. I also take Allergy-X and digestive together before I eat. Breakfast and dinner. I take one capsule of each, sometimes
Got
two
it.
Allergy-X.
Now, one of the things that they're I'm trying to think of what they're called. There are a lot of over-the-counter now medications that stop acid reflux. And I was
Right,
told years ago by, um, well, by Dr. Earl Mendel, who's been on the show. Earl has told us that, told me anyway, and I hope it's still true, Earl, that most people don't have a lack, an excess of stomach acid, but they actually have not enough,
a deficiency.
a deficiency.
Yeah, that's
And
true. That's correct. But the thing is that when your stomach is weak, it doesn't send your food downward. If your stomach is strong, it will send things downward so that it doesn't come back up towards your esophagus and cause heartburn.
ah,
And so, really, it's not a matter of reducing the acid. It's a matter of strengthening the function of the stomach.
got it.
What we're trying to do is really improve functional capacity of the digestive system so that you don't have that buildup that goes back up and feels like you have too much acid because it's going back up into your esophagus.
Well,
So stomach
this is
pushes
this.
things down.
Before
Go
I
ahead.
start, will you guys come back sometime and do something else with me? You're
Love to.
thinking.
Sure.
Okay, thank. Jenny
Jenny,
answered. Jenny gets to come back. Stephen, you get to stay home.
Jenny has some really good recipes for tonic soups that are really nice.
Oh,
That you
well,
can
maybe
include, and you
we'll
can
do that
include
maybe
some
when the
herbs
weather
in them.
turns. We
Yeah.
should have done that before. Well, this is the best part of the show to me. And
Eating.
Yeah, we're
well,
jealous.
yeah, everybody is. I got to tell you, I can't wait. Mm.
Uh huh.
Oh my. Mm. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is dancing on my tongue. The
Yeah,
uh, what a great recipe.
yeah, and good for you. You lost your mic. Can't hear you. Are you there? If our mics are on too. Um, there's so many flavors in that particular recipe with the garlic, now the duck,
It's total.
and
Can you hear me now? Can you
yes,
hear
we
me?
can.
Yeah. Yeah, the mic died. Um, guys, thank you. But you will come back. We'll
Yeah,
do a soup or something. That's great. And folks, bring Jenny and Steve's name back up. If you're looking for an allergy relief product, I recommend this. Now I got to tell you, I'm not. I've not been paid to say this. I have not received. I haven't received a free bottle of this. I paid for this, and it works. It really works. There's an endorsement for you guys. It's really terrific stuff. I can't wait to try the digestive product. I'll have to do that.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
the kind
Jenny
words.
and Stephen, hold on just a couple of moments, okay? I have some notes down here. Oh, I wanted you to know. All right, good deal. Thank you very much. And thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Next week, Katja Hansen returns, and she's going to make, she's from calcify.com. Calcify.com. There's a brand new book that her husband wrote, and you can go and learn about that at calcify.com. Um, this will be a healthy heart recipe next week. Um, that's easy to make. It's Asian inspired, and it's really, really good because I've tasted it. Listen, thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next time right here on Mark Alyn Cooks. Hold on, Jeff.